Welcome back to the Roundhouse for game number 2 of the Wichita Regional here in the TBT tournament. Our first game at Fire Family defeating Run DFW to advance to the next round where they will square off against Forever Cougs on Sunday. Willie Warren with the winner for Fire Family, and wow, what an alliteration that was. This next matchup features the 3-seeded Challenge ALS taking on 6-seed Austin's Own. Both teams feature a lot of exciting players that we get to rap about today. Hello again, everybody. My name is Christian Filliman, better known as Philly, alongside my broadcast partner, Slick Nick Ba. Partner, a lot of people have the aftershocks moving out of this regional, but Challenge ALS and Austin's Own make very strong cases as to why they should be the contenders coming out of Wichita.
Yeah, Challenge ALS has been a TBT staple and a very successful one over the duration of this tournament. They got a new look roster a little bit this year. Major NC State flavor. 2 Wolfpack legends lead the way. DJ Burns, DJ Horn from NC State's Final Four team 2 years ago are leading the charge. And then Austin's Own, they've had first-round exits the last 2 years, but a lot of Longhorns in the starting lineup, 4 of them to be exact, and they're looking to make some noise this year. Excited to see what these two teams can do.
Asking us which players to watch would be the equivalent of asking a hungry person in a grocery store what food do they like, but we got to answer those tough questions. Slick, who really are our players to watch?
Well, you have to go with DJ Burns on Challenge ALS. 6'9", 275. You remember him as a March Madness hero. He is a load to deal with in the interior, not only because he can score, but Philly because he can pass as well. So he's the guy I'm looking for in ALS. And then Austin's Own, I'm going to go with Jacobin Brown. This is a player that Austin's Own has been recruiting for 3 years. They finally land him. Great scorer, great shooter.
Since we've got the rules up on the board, let's talk about it. We've got 4 quarters, 9 minutes. Actually, I'll leave the rest up to you, veteran.
Yeah, these games go quick. The Elam ending is what makes this tournament special. In the 4th quarter, first stoppage under 4 minutes, the game clock shuts off. You add 8 points to the leading team's score. That becomes the target score to reach. So every game ends on a made basket.
Moments away from tip-off, Challenge ALS wearing the white uniforms, Austin's Own wearing that Texas burnt orange. And we are underway. Possession controlled by Challenge ALS. You mentioned it, a veteran lineup of Wolfpack players taking on a veteran lineup of Longhorns. Hook'em Horns taking on the Wolfpack. Starting things off early there, we see the legendary DJ Burns as he works his way into the paint, kicks it out, 3-point attempt, basket no good, off the front end of the rim. That shot is missed by Jazz Johnson. Austin's Own on the run.
That's how they want to play, though, is throwing to Burns and letting him make decisions. So Austin's Own's ability to defend him one-on-one without helping is going to be huge.
And quite a statement maker with that block just moments ago by number 20, Michael Weathers. 3-point attempt, rattles and toilet bowls out of the cylinder. Jordan Hamilton, otherwise known as J-Ham, made that attempt. Just going through these lineups, just the memories that a lot of these players have given us watching March Madness, incredible. Great pass in, defensive play made by Jacobin Brown.
Well, Philly, I thought the first game between Fire Family and Run DFW was a very physical game. The refs let them play. It'll be interesting to see how a game's officiated here. The second one, you got a new set of officials, and why that's important is because if DJ Burns is able to be physical and they're not going to be blowing the whistle, he's going to be really, really extra tough to deal with.
And even though we're utilizing a lot of NCAA rules, it's 6 fouls to foul out as number 5, Jordan Nicholas, makes the first free throw. Nicholas out of Pearland, Texas, played collegiately at Texas Southern and Stephen F. Austin, as well as Montana. He sinks them both. Spent some time in the G League with the South Bay Lakers. Also played in Canada. Loose ball, picked up by Weathers. Defense, as cliche as it sounds, defense wins basketball games. Michael Weathers making the play, putting in the layup.
That's his game.
Another defensive play by Challenge ALS, out on the run. Basket made in transition by Nicholas. And just within the blink of an eye, Challenge ALS up by 6.
Well, assistant coach for NC State is Brandon Chambers. He's the head coach for ALS, so there's some major Will Wade NC State flavor here. And of course, Will Wade was at McNeese, Now is at NC State. He likes to play fast, likes to pressure, so you expect that at ALS.
Three-point basket made. DJ Horn with the trifecta. Talk about McNeese State and NC State looking over at that Challenge ALS bench. He got the first student manager making NIL history. Amir Khan, a.k.a. Aura. I got a chance to see him at TST. He was with a team called Brown Ballers, and he's getting everywhere as far as this tournament is concerned. Going to Carolina, coming out here in Kansas. Three-point attempt, no good. Offensive rebound with the putback. An emphatic dunk by Onyema. Talk about a player who's still in rhythm with his game. He just graduated from the University of Texas.
Gonna be a really important player to hang in there inside is Onyema.
That ball is loose. Try to keep it in play. Was Challenge ALS, recovered by Austin's own. Hamilton with the three-point basket. It is good. J-Ham, Jordan Hamilton.
Doesn't it feel like it's Hamilton and Brown? Those are the two guys that are going to have to lead the way for Austin's own, two Longhorn legends.
Three-pointer on the baseline. Rims itself out. You see both teams really going at each other physically. A lot of big bodies out on the hardwood. Ball stripped away and taken back. We saw a lot of turnovers in our first game. Turnovers were the story. Will they be the story here today? As C.J. Walker, the only non-Longhorn to start, draws the foul.
Yep, 4 Longhorns in the starting lineup. C.J. Walker out of East Carolina, Central Florida, and Oregon. Well-traveled in his collegiate career, getting the nod.
I mean, he was a runner-up for Mr. Florida back in 2019. Back-to-back state titles when he played high school in Orlando. I mean, winning one state title, incredible, let alone back-to-back.
He had over 1,200 points in his collegiate career. And it's interesting, Austin's own initially had 15 players on their roster, but coming down to actual game time, they only have 10 on their roster that are ready to go. But that's plenty.
Plenty indeed. I mean, a whole nother squad. So we see Kennedy checking into the game, wearing the number 1. For Austin's own, Keontae Kennedy, 6'5", out of Austin. Played at Cal, Memphis, University of Texas, El Paso, Xavier. Also playing professionally in Portugal with Sporting Lisbon, a team very much known for playing professional soccer, but making a name for himself in a place that a lot of Americans like to retire, Portugal. Foul is drawn. The infraction is going to go against Nicholas. J-Ham drawing the foul. Hamilton out of Los Angeles, California. Little city in Southern California I'm somewhat familiar with.
Yeah, you are.
Having lived there 10 years. Longhorn from 09 to 11, 151 games played. First team All Big Ten in 2012. Consensus second team All-American. What a career he had playing for the Longhorns. Walker driving in, spinning, somehow averting trouble. Nearly picking up his own rebound. Challenge ALS does have it, as we see Marcus Weathers. 2 Weathers brothers in the game. Marcus, of course, and Michael. Intercepted by Kent. Passing to Walker, who's open, trying to draw the foul. The putback does not get it. Will there be another offensive rebound? Ball is loose, picked right up by Challenge ALS. And we see a kick ball, it's gonna go back to the team representing NC State.
Boy, missed a bunny right underneath. Easy one for 2.
We say that term time and time again, and I always like to learn the history of certain phrases, but where did the term bunny come from?
I don't even know. That's one of those things that you use a phrase, you're not sure of the origin of it, but in basketball terms, it's just an easy one right around the rim. Shame on me, Philly. I need to know what I'm saying.
No, that's what we're going to figure out at halftime and let everybody know. 3-point attempt off the back end of the iron, trying to get kept alive. And that's going to be a travel. It's Onyema trying to get creative.
You know, this ALS team, it's almost like they're 2 separate teams. It's like when Burns is on the floor, they're going to want to pound it inside. When he's not on the floor, they're very athletic, very switchable in terms of 5 different spots, so they can throw a lot of different looks at you.
They're a team that has a rich history, going all the way to the TBT finals in 2017. Austin's own looking for their first win here in this incredible tournament that's now within its 12th season. Ball comes into the corner. fighting for it is Antavion Column, taken away by Onyema. You know, we use the term chiseled out of stone, but Onyema certainly fits that bill. And the three-pointer made by J-Ham, Jordan Hamilton with the trifecta. Game is now tied 9-all.
He doesn't lack confidence, does he? I mean, he gets even a sliver of daylight, that thing is going up from beyond the arc.
To recycle a phrase used in the last game, an inch, he takes a foot.
Yep.
The answer by Marcus Weathers. 6'5" small forward out of Raceland Park, Kansas. Played at SMU, Duquesne, Miami of Ohio, where he was second team all AAC back in 2022. His father hooped at Drake. So that's one of those, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, is that shot way off target. So that should take us into our first media timeout here. And with the horn, that is the indicator. So yeah, with 3 minutes and 26 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, we got a banger on our hands. Challenge ALS currently leading Austin's Zone by 2. Back in a moment. You are watching the TBT, the basketball tournament, live on YouTube.
Quarters, players foul out on their 6th foul. We play by the Bolton rule, except for on free throws. The foul bonus occurs on the 5th foul of each quarter. And finally, TBT uses the Elam ending. At first dead ball, with 4 minutes to go in the game, the game clock shuts off, and a target score is set by adding 8 points to the leading team's score. The first team to reach that target score wins the game.
Thank you.
.26 remaining here in the first quarter. Challenge ALS up by 2 points. Challenge ALS thus far led by Jordan Nicholas with 4 points. Austin's Zone led by Jordan Hamilton with 6. Slick, neither team really shooting the lights out so far, so not really a surprise that they're both deadlocked as close as they've been playing tonight.
Very similar to the first quarter of our first game, Fire Family and Run DFW. There's just a little bit of anxiety and nerves. It's a single-elimination tournament. There's $1 million on the line. And you've been working for this, and all of a sudden it's here. Both teams need to settle in a little bit. 3 turnovers for Challenge ALS, not a lot of made shots. You know, sometimes that first time that you can collect yourself, go to the bench, get some Gatorade, take a deep breath, you're a different dude coming back out of the huddle.
And we saw that. Run DFW, despite being down by 12 against Fire Family earlier, got back into the game, but then Fire Family really ran DFW off of the court. That was a tremendous game, and we got a tremendous game on our hands thus far. Excellent defense by Austin's Zone, trying to prevent the ball from getting down in the paint. And that's going to come out of bounds. Austin's Zone recovers.
Really, really good defensive possession. Austin's Zone was in a stance. They were talking. They were handling every action, a cross screen, a stagger screen, fighting the post up. That was just a tremendous sequence from Austin's Zone defensively.
Trezarian White checks into the game, getting his first minutes. White out of Mansfield, Texas. Another Texas Christian Longhorn, averaging about 9.2 points per game in the games that he started in his final season. The kick back up top. White's going to get pulled up and blocked by Weathers. Fast break opportunity here for Challenge ALS. And that's going to come off of the foot of Austin's Zone. It's going to remain on this side of the court.
Oh, what a block on the 3 from Weathers. Looked like it was wide open. He closed that airspace and got a hand on it.
I mean, if you see his calf muscles, it looks like 2 big slabs of prime rib.
Yeah.
Athleticism galore. Burns, Final Four legend out of NC State with the spin. Too strong off the glass. Picked right back up by Keontae Kennedy. Driving through is Jordan Hamilton. Hamilton's going to pull up. does not get the foul, almost a three-point play. That basketball, rather stubborn, halfway down the cylinder, does not fall, but Jordan Hamilton's going to have an opportunity here from the charity stripe.
Well, you can tell as a lot of these guys have, they've practiced together the last week or two. And sometimes you do need somebody to just come out and be the initiator offensively, and Jordan Hamilton has been just that. He has been ultra aggressive to try to make plays for his group.
Was drafted by the Mavericks back in 2011 in the first round with the 26th pick. Really quickly traded to Denver. Spent some time with the Rockets, the Clippers, the Pelicans, all over the world as well, most recently playing in Iraq. And you want to talk about professional athletes in the family. His wife got herself an NBA chip playing for the Liberty.
I wonder how those conversations go. Here's what you need to do is you need to post up more. What you need to do is this.
And she's got the ace card.
Yeah, 100%
All she has to do is flash that championship ring. Three-point basket as we're talking about Jordan Hamilton's family. There he is trading another trifecta. Austin Zone goes up by 2 with 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Good response. ALS delivered that first punch, but Austin Zone has settled in.
And Burns gets his bucket. DJ Burns, 6'9" out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Won the ACC tournament back in 2024. And we talked about how stacked that conference is for the Wolfpack to make it as far as they have in the NCAAs. As Walker tried to initiate the foul. No whistle was called. Hamilton gets his defender in the air. Took a look at the bench before pulling up. Splash City, baby! Jordan Hamilton with the 3.
Confidence. When you're looking at the crowd before you're shooting, you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Taking a look over at the bench, possibly asking Challenge ALS whether or not anybody could defend as that one goes over the back. Over and back, I should say. It didn't go over anybody's back. But thus far, Austin Zone has Challenge ALS's backs to the wall as they are up by 3 with about 71 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Trezarian White set to inbound.
He doesn't need any encouraging, but I'd run a set for Jordan Hamilton. He's knocked down a couple. Get him a shot if you can.
Walker's going to pull up off the back end of the iron, rebounded by Burns. Quick tap over to Weathers. Michael Weathers. Although he's wearing a jersey that doesn't say Michael Weathers. It says Pete Freites. Burns lost control. Austin Zone looking to run. Hamilton from NBA range. Off the mark. Wanted that heat check for a moment. I mean, he's pulling up basically by the logo.
Try to go in the post akin to Burns if you can. You got to try to establish him because he's a willing passer and a good passer.
And as athletic as Walker is, he gives up a sizable disadvantage to Burns. And there you say, the aforementioned DJ Burns, the bounce pass signal, the kiss off the window.
That's right. And you're talking about a guy that was the ACC tournament MVP 2 years ago in that magical run that sparked it for NC State, ultimately ending in the Final Four. And he's just a unique player. I don't care what league, what level, not a lot of DJ Burnses in the world.
Excellent drive, all the way to the hole is Brown. 5 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Weathers going to take it himself, trying to draw the foul. He gets the basket as the game clock in the first quarter expires. Back and forth action we go. 18-17 in favor of Austin Zone. And to recycle another term from the last game, I'm sweating just watching this one, partner.
The heck of a finish. Good high-level competition in that first quarter.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Stick around. We got more TBT action live from Charles Koch Arena in beautiful Wichita, Kansas. Austin owns. J-Ham with the wham bam, leading both sides in scoring. 13 points, 4 for 7 from beyond the arc. He leads the charge here. Much more balanced attack for Challenge ALS as they have nobody who's running away with it. Nicholas Weathers and Burns with 4 apiece, along with DJ Horn with 3. More of a balanced attack and still a very close game, though, to start the second quarter.
Yeah, really, for Austin's own, anybody other than Jordan Hamilton's kind of struggled a little bit in that first quarter, but Hamilton was terrific. ALS, 7 turnovers in that first quarter as well, so they got to handle the rock.
Always a key part of any conversation, a key part of any game. Protecting the basketball is crucial. Single elimination, winner goes home. Actually, no, winner stays, loser goes home. Travel on number 33, Franklin Agunani checking into the game. Agunani out of Nigeria, played collegiately at Southern Methodist and Loyola of Chicago. Won a national championship playing over in LaPorte, Indiana. Austin's own on the break. White is looking for the no-look pass, trying to connect with CJ Walker. Challenge ALS does a good job tracking back, pushing that basketball out of bounds.
Saved a layup as Walker was going to have an easy 2 points, but the 8th turnover now from ALS, just sloppy.
3-point attempt is good. 3-point basket by Jason Kent. 6'8" small forward out of Oak Forest, Illinois. Played at Texas where he averaged 5.6 points per game. Also at Indiana State, Jazarian White recovers. The pass in and the dunk! Jason Kent hammers it home. And that's gonna get this crowd here in Koch Arena up and roaring. Decibel levels starting to climb here as we are getting very close to the home team Aftershocks game. That'll be the 3rd game here. 3rd of 3 games here in this awesome arena. 6 years Charles Koch Arena has hosted TBT.
And it's really been the gold standard in terms of environments, ticket sales. Certainly the insertion of DeVille and Louisville and Lexington has made some competition for the Wichita fans, though.
That they have. A new rule this year is the home court advantage. The side that sold the most tickets essentially gets home court advantage the whole way through. You bring up the Ville, they got 4,000 tickets sold immediately as CJ Walker draws the foul. As a result of that, the Ville, as long as they're winning, they're going to continue to get home games throughout the TBT.
Which makes a big, big difference, and you'll see in our nightcap, Wichita State will have some atmosphere in here. It'll make a difference. I remember doing last year, Houston had their quarterfinal game at Houston, and there were a ton of Cougar fans in there. They blew the doors off Happy Valley Hoopers and ultimately got all the way to the championship, lost to Carmen's Crew, but home court advantage makes a big difference. I love that wrinkle from the TBT this year.
Walker hits his first free throw. Yeah, Louisville has the #1 seed. Lexington has #2. 3 goes to Syracuse. Wichita, this regional has the 4th seed. A lot of intriguing matchups with this home court advantage rule. I mean, you could see the Ville taking on La Familia potentially in the quarterfinals. Heck, with the Aftershocks, you could potentially see them taking on either Kansas alums or Kansas State alums. Pull up. That shot is off the mark, missed by DJ Horn. Outlet over to Walker. Walker loses it. And that's going to change hands.
Boy, I hate to be a broken record, but turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. ALS is just struggling, but you got to tip your cap to Texas's Austin's own defense. I mean, they are locked in and communicating.
Getting the turnovers is one thing, of course, converting off of them is another. Austin's own has 11 points off of turnovers, so that's a key metric to look into. So we have Jacobin Brown checking out, checking in for Austin's zone is #0, Trey Tennyson. Tennyson, 6'3" out of Arlington, Texas. We have almost as many Horned Frogs as we do Longhorns on Austin's zone.
The Austin's own bench is really engaged. They're locked in, barking, screaming.
Defensive play by Walker. In transition, look at the basket. Trezarity and White kisses it high off the window. Austin's own making challenge ALS their own here defensively. Pass from Weathers to Weathers. 3-point by Nicholas. Rebounded. Going to be a very important defensive stop here for challenge ALS to make sure they don't allow Austin's own to really go make a run out of this. White hesitated for a moment, kicks it back over to Walker. Walker's going to pull up for three. Off the front end of the iron, rebounded from Weathers, outlet to Weathers. Driving through, utilizing the Euro step. 3-point basket attempt. Off the back end of the iron, poked away, but a foul is drawn on the floor.
Yeah, easy push in the back call for the officials.
Jordan Hamilton getting ready to check back in for challenge ALS. And Tavion Collum comes in, as does Jazz Johnson. Jazz Johnson, full name Jaaziel, which means strength of God. Plays pro in Italy, played collegiately at Nevada and Portland. Second team Mountain West back in 2020. It's a Mountain West sixth man of the year. Pull up, that one, nothing but net, but not in the way Collum would want it. Drive through, and there's another transition basket by Austin's own. Jason Kent converts the lay-in. 11-point lead. Weathers thought about pulling up for a moment. Ball is in the corner. We can hear Austin's own chirping away. Collum over to Weathers. Or as from our vantage point, Peter Freites. Ball is loose. Recovered by Agunani.
This Austin's own defense is something so far.
Challenge ALS making a defensive play there. Alley-oop! Just not enough. The recovery. Put back missed. Another offensive rebound. That one just comes off the cylinder. Recovered by Austin's own.
Good decision from Hamilton. Slow it up. Got a really chaotic sequence going. Take a breath.
That's high basketball IQ.
Yes.
Not only does it allow the offense to recover, allows the broadcasters to recover as well.
That's the most important thing, right?
It's our second of 3 games today. Substitutions getting ready to check in. Challenge ALS with practically a line change as they have 3 players coming back onto the hardwood.
I've always felt like, I remember something Bill Self told me when I was playing for Kansas. He said a great pressure release is throwing the ball into the post. And right now, DJ Burns is back in the game. Austin's own is pressuring. Throw the ball into Burns and let him calm things down offensively.
Pull up, no good as Jacobin Brown misses the jumper. The second quarter is going by really quickly as we're almost at that 4-minute mark. Burns, using his size, does not get his floater. Recovered back by the burnt orange.
You don't want 275 to fade away from the basket. You want it going to the rim.
Tennyson almost splashes one heck of a rainbow 3-pointer. Muscling his way in is Weathers, and he's going to draw the foul. That's going to go against Kent. So 3:52 is going to send us into immediate timeout. Austin's own currently up by 11. Back in a moment here with more TBT action live from the Roundhouse. 3 minutes and 52 seconds separates both teams from the second quarter and halftime. And so far the story has been Austin's own challenge ALS with 10 turnovers. And Austin's own have been converting those buckets. 11 points off the turnovers. And that's really been the story. I mean, that's basically the lead right there. Challenge ALS needs to do a much better job protecting the basketball.
Well, and Austin's own defense has just been incredibly juiced up and locked in. The bench has been barking and pumping energy into the 5 on the floor. 0 points so far for ALS in this quarter. Got to find some sort of rhythm offensively, does ALS.
Austin's own playing as the 6th seed against the 3-seeded challenge ALS. Austin's own lost in the first round last year to Forever Cougs by a score of 71-60. As Burns muscles his way in, he gets the basket. You were talking about how important it was for DJ Burns to get his hands on the rock, and you can see exactly right there. He can make those baskets. At the very least, he can create the space and the opportunity for himself.
Yeah, if you can get something in transition, do it. If not, throw it into Burns.
Kent three-pointer misses. Rebounded by Horn. Fresh off a Final Four. Goes to his other teammate who was fresh off a Final Four. That one gets loose. Horn's going to pull up top of the key. Off the back end of the iron. Offensive rebound by challenge ALS. The pass in. And Burns is going to draw the foul. He's heading over to the free throw line. And you can see him clapping. Not sure if you can hear it. We certainly heard it through this chaos and loudness that we have here at the Coke Arena. Burns really wanted that basket.
What a player. It was so excited when I saw he not only committed to be in the TBT, but was going to be in our region in Wichita. Just a magical run that NC State went on. And this guy was the face of it in a lot of ways. Just a unique player, plays with such joy and force.
Let's also give a little love to Winthrop. He spent some time there too.
For sure.
8 points is the lead. Zonyema drops it off to Kennedy. Kennedy with the alley-oop. And that nearly pulls down the rim, a.k.a. Shaq rookie style. Off the mark, though. Can challenge ALS convert here in transition. Slowing things down to run the offense. Burns spins into traffic, kicks it out. Wide open look from Weathers to Weathers. Gets his defender up in the air. And that's going to stay. I stand corrected. Changes possession arrow. With all the turnovers that we've seen, neither team looking to press one another. Looking to probably save on some of the gas because it has been pretty frenetic and fast. As we're getting closer and closer to halftime, drawing the foul, driving into the lane, is Trezarian White. White's been very active anytime he's gotten his hands on the basketball.
No. We talked about Will Wade and him at NC State. Also very exciting times, in my opinion, in Austin with Sean Miller's arrival as the head coach. I got to know Coach Miller working his games at Xavier the last couple of years. Unbelievably impressed with him as a basketball coach. I think he's going to do an amazing job at Texas, and things like this try to galvanize that former player group. And certainly Sean Miller is going to do his part in the season in Austin.
A win here today would obviously be a very good case to get former Longhorn alums on board with this tournament.
Sure.
A lot of good things going on in Austin. A lot of things going up in Austin, including the value of real estate. Hamilton, the pull-up three, almost finds its way through by Kent. Outlet pass in transition. Basket is good by Nicholas. I think that might be Nicholas's first basket here in the second quarter. Got off to a really quick start. Jordan Hamilton misses the three-pointer, rebounded by Burns. And almost turning it over is Jazz Johnson. Challenge ALS regroups, resets the offense as we're approaching 90 ticks left here in the second quarter. Pull-up three-pointer, unquestionable. Three-point basket is good. Jazz Johnson singing the sweet music for Challenge ALS as they cut in this lead. It is only a 5-point lead now for Austin's own.
good response from ALS. Settled in a little bit on the offensive end, chipped away at this thing. I thought Austin's Own really had a chance. You even mentioned it at one point to really put ALS on the ropes big time. I thought offensively Austin's Own got a little bit out of sorts, and that was able to get ALS back into this thing here, is now cutting the lead to 5.
Exciting back and forth action. Anybody's ball game at this point. We saw it early in the first game, although it did get out of hand for Run DFW. But with the talent both teams have, we're expecting a very tightly contested game for really the duration.
Well, again, we talked about it. These games go quick. 9-minute quarters, move. You're going to be at that Elam ending before you know it in the fourth quarter. So any 2 or 3 minute lull can really cost you.
Austin's Own looking for a response. Had a very comfortable lead, but just within the blink of an eye, Challenge ALS is challenging Austin's Own, cutting the lead into 5. Pass in to Kent, and that basket is going to count. Jason Kent gets another 2 points. Kent's putting up some nice numbers here in the first half.
Good-looking athlete, isn't he? Light on his feet, big broad shoulders.
Three-pointer is good. Jazz Johnson, back-to-back threes.
He's an elite shooter. 252 made threes in his college career at 42%. That is big time from beyond the arc.
I think bonkers is the term I would utilize to reference that ability. Kent driving into the lane. Kick back out to Hamilton. J-Ham has gone a little quiet here late in the second quarter. Sticking with him defensively is Weathers, and Weathers is called for the foul. He did not like that. He was on Hamilton, clamping him down, trying to prevent J-Ham from getting a basket, but J-Ham using that high basketball IQ to draw foul and head to the charity stripe.
That was close. Might have got a little hand on their arm on the contest, but boy, that was some great one-on-one defense. In a stance, fighting the dribble.
Hamilton's first attempt is good. 33-28 the score. Challenge ALS is going to go for a quick timeout here. 26.7 seconds left.
Draw up some sort of set play because you'll have final possession here.
The last thing either team would want to do is give up a cheap foul. Foul trouble hasn't been anything that's been a plague for any game that we've watched so far. Granted, we are only 1 game and a half in to the Wichita Regional. A lot of great action going on, a lot of great games. For those that are just tuning in, watching TBT for the first time, 8 regionals, Wichita being one of them, 61 teams, all vying for a cash prize of $1 million. And anytime I say that $1 million, I have to put the pinky up, a la Austin Powers, Dr. Evil style, $1 million.
Just so you know, any Austin Powers reference is welcome from me, okay?
Groovy, baby. I could have said, oh, behave.
Yeah.
And actually, I just did, so never mind.
Let's see what Coach Chambers wanted here out of this timeout. Holding for that final shot. Looks like a little zone, maybe, from Austin's Own.
Clearing up space for Nicholas. Into Burns. Burns muscling his way in, and he gets the bucket. Less than 10 seconds. Austin's Own do have an opportunity for one more shot. Hamilton over to Onyema. Ball is loose. And that's going to go out of bounds with 1/10 of a second. At this point, it's just simply arithmetic. We're going into halftime here with Austin's Own up by 3, barring any miracles, of course.
Point one, you can't get one off. 13-5 run to close it out for ALS. Really was on the ropes. Nice response in the final closing stages of the second quarter to make it a ball game heading into the second half.
Since we're quoting movies, let's quote Gladiator, Maximus style. Are you not entertained? I'm certainly entertained. And we're going to take a quick break before we give you some more entertainment. Live from the Roundhouse, Charles Koch Arena, 33-30 in favor of Austin's Own. Back in a moment, you are watching the TBT. Getting ready for the start of the third quarter here in the 3 versus 6 seed matchup between Austin's Own and Challenge ALS. Just when we thought Austin's Own was going to run out of the building, up by as much as 11 with 5:44 in the second quarter, Challenge ALS really chipped into this lead and are only down by 3. Partner, what are your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, I thought it was incredible to see ALS wake up and close the quarter on a very strong note, 13-5 run. They were big time on the ropes. Their biggest issue has been taking care of the ball. 11 turnovers in that first half. I thought once they started throwing the ball into DJ Burns a little more, I thought they settled down a little bit. But sometimes it's like, is it good offense? Is it bad offense? Is it good defense? Is it bad defense? I thought it was more so Austin's Own's defensive energy was really excellent for that entire half. Something to keep in mind. Austin's Own was playing defense in front of their bench. You can talk, you get energy pumped into you. Now they're going to be playing defense not in front of their bench. We'll see if they can bring their own juice on that end of the floor in this second half, because if Austin's Own defends the way they did for this third and fourth quarter, I think they're going to win the game, but we'll see.
Challenge ALS with a very balanced attack. 6 out of the 9 players that have played today have scored. They are led by DJ Burns, who's got 9 points and 4 rebounds. Austin's Own really led by Jordan Hamilton with 14 and Jason Kent with 9. Jordan Hamilton's been Mr. Everything. 4 rebounds. He's doing his thing. Trezarian White also having himself a really good game. Couple of rebounds, 3 assists, 4 points. And Jacobin Brown, the defensive stopper, currently leading all sides in steals with 3. Will Challenge ALS look to clamp down on Austin's Own leading scorers? We'll see. Moments away from the start of the third quarter. Anything can happen. 3-point ball game. And this game has not been disappointing thus far. No game has. Anytime a team gets on a run, just within the blink of an eye, the opposition comes back, and we're really enjoying it so far. And we hope you viewers at home are too. One thing that I want to make sure that I shout out, number 20, Weathers on Challenge ALS had on the back of his jersey Pete Freights. I didn't know it didn't register, but obviously Pete Freights is probably honoring him that way. The rest of the Challenge ALS jerseys have Strikeout ALS on the back of them, so I did want to shout that out. Of course, Challenge ALS does pledge the money for ALS research, so really honorable way to go about trying to fight for $1 million. And of course, they got the great state of North Carolina on their side. And quite a few fans in this building too, might I add.
No doubt about it. Worthwhile cause, fighting ALS, raising money for it. Really, really cool.
Burns fades away. That went off the mark.
Well, 275, don't fade away. You don't need to. Go into the defense.
Walker on the baseline. Couple of turnarounds. Drops it off. Bucket is good. Picking up right where he left off. Jason Kent.
I love how he's played. Just running the floor, moving without the ball.
He's now in double figures with 11 points. Burns kicks it up. Johnson over to Weathers. He's going to pull up 3-pointer baseline off the mark. Rebounded by Onyema. The pass into Jordan Hamilton. Hamilton sitting with 14 points. The kick out to Brown. Both teams a little quiet from beyond the arc.
Yeah,
starting the third quarter a little rough.
Jacobin Brown has just been quiet in general. He's got to put his fingerprints on this game offensively.
DJ Horn misses his 3-pointer. And that's really going to have an impact on the field goal percentage for both sides, as they're both right around 40 and just under 40%. Kent sticking with it. Forces it, draws the foul off the front end of the iron. He's going to go to the free throw line.
I like how he has played. Good energy, good size at 6'8". Indiana State for a couple of years, Bradley for a couple of years, and Texas for 1 year. Was a very successful player in the Valley. Second team All-Missouri Valley Conference, was on the All-Missouri Valley Conference defense team as well.
He's part of that Sycamores team that went to the NIT finals.
He's a good-looking player.
This is his first trip to the free throw line this afternoon. Actually, now at this point, we can say the evening. I think I'm still on California time. Walker with the offensive rebound, and he's going to draw a foul. C.J. Walker was a late addition to this team. He wasn't on the roster a week ago, but a huge acquisition for Austin's Own. And their head coach, Mike Kabongo, leading the charge here. What a career he had also as a player. Played at the legendary Findlay Prep High School, played at Texas, was a McDonald's All-American back in 2011. If there's anybody who knows how to win, it's Coach Kabongo.
And winning this tournament. He was on the overseas elite team that won the TBT in 2015. So he understands what it takes to win in this event as well.
Currently has his team up by 8 points as Johnson drives over to the left.
Great pass.
Johnson just misses it. Pull-up three-pointer. Challenge ALS has gone cold from three-point territory. Onyema went down. It's a big body to hit the hardwood.
It's like wrestling a refrigerator for a basketball there. You're battling DJ Burns.
The mental image of wrestling a refrigerator, I can't get that out of my head now. You tattooed that in my cerebellum just now. Thank you very much.
He's an enormous person, DJ Burns. You see him in person.
I mean, he would make the statue of David in Florence blush.
Yes.
Burns outlets it out to Johnson. Johnson turns it over to Jordan Hamilton. Hamilton over to Kent, the team's leading scorers. The alley-oop in. Onyema gets pushed. He's going to draw the foul. That looks like it's going to go against Marcus Weathers. Actually, it goes against Michael Weathers. I had the last name right, but the first name was incorrect. M. Weathers, one way or another. Checking in is Dion Wright. We haven't seen much of Wright.
No.
Only played 2 minutes thus far.
Easy call for the officials as Marcus Weathers was hugging CJ Walker as he was coming off that back screen.
Just letting him know how much he missed him.
Hey, give me a hug, CJ Walker.
Well, if you want the Austin Powers reference, now I can simply state, okay, hey. Walker at the free throw line. He's 4 for 6 this evening. His first of 2.
Well, I would say pretty good pickup at the 25th hour in landing CJ Walker if you're Austin's own. That's the life of a GM. You're always kind of moving and shaking that roster.
Every day hustling, but when $1 million is on the line, you're going to want to do everything that you can. Leave no stones unturned, as the saying goes. Burns easily spins past Walker. Too strong, though, as Jacobin Brown gets the rebound. Brown to Hamilton. Hamilton's going to pull up with Burns in his face. He swishes it. Jordan Hamilton now 5 for 9 from beyond the arc. He is up to 17 points.
Danger zone once again for Challenge ALS.
Pull up 3, off the mark, recovered by Walker. Pass into Kent. Kent off the mark. Another attempt, this time from even further out. Rebounded by Walker. Misses the putback. Almost a proverbial nail in the coffin. Recovered by Brown. He spins out of trouble. Hamilton back over to Brown. He pulls up for 3. He hits. Jacobin Brown, what can Brown do for you? Hit threes is what that Brown can do for you. Austin's zone up by 15 with 5:52 here in the third quarter.
Well, once again, a surge from Austin's zone where you get about a 4 or 5 minute stretch where ALS has not scored. They haven't scored in this quarter. And credit the activity of Walker and Kent, I think, just being active and creating opportunities for the shooters like Brown and Hamilton to knock down shots. And so in the first half, ALS, they got down double digits, they responded. Well, now it's time to respond if you're Challenge ALS.
Heavy reliance on shooting from beyond the arc. That hasn't fallen. The key would probably be to continue to push it in the paint. Again, can't help but reiterate, CJ Walker at 6'8", highly talented, very athletic, exceptional defensively. But when you have somebody as big as DJ Burns muscling you in, I don't care what you're built out of. DJ Burns is going to draw at least a foul and create some space for himself. But looking at the bench right now, Burns is going to get a break.
I'm totally with the spirit of what you're saying, though, Philly.
Well, I thank you for that one. Weathers with Walker on him, drawing the foul. Challenge ALS. Looking for the basket.
I see what they're ultimately going to sort out here, but not sure what you think, Philly. I've been impressed with Coach Kabongo's ability to get these guys to play with purpose defensively. It's easy in an event like this when you're kind of putting certain guys together to just roll the ball out and say, let's go outscore a team. That's what, unfortunately, some teams do, and those teams oftentimes get sent home early. But I've been impressed with Austin Owen's purpose on the defensive end.
It seems as if even in the short period of time, every player knows their role.
Yeah.
Obviously, the offense is going to flow through Jordan Hamilton and Jason Kent. But Jacobin Brown, he's taking care of business. He's quietly having a good game, in particular defensively. You have Trezarian White doing his thing with rebounds, points, and assists. So while the scoring isn't necessarily balanced, defensively, Austin's Own has been clamping down on Challenge ALS. And that's across the board. Everybody that's hit the hardwood, I don't think Coach Kabongo's going to want anybody coming out here and not playing defense. Brown getting by Johnson. Over to Ken. He gets his shot swatted. Pass into Nicholas. And Nicholas with the dunk. Can that be the momentum changer that Challenge ALS needs? He thundered that one home with authority. Hamilton with Jordan Nicholas on him. Hamilton spinning through, picks up his dribble, kicks it out to Walker. Walker had to really extend that stretch in his reach. Pass in. That one gets blocked. Great eyes by Jacobin Brown, though, to see Walker in there. And that's going to be an Austin's Own turnover.
Boy. ALS's activity at the rim has erased 2 layups on back-to-back possessions, one of which resulted in a run-out dunk for ALS. So some big sequences there, as it looked like Austin's Own was going to have 2 points, but instead you erase them both at the 10.
This is going to be a very important trip down the floor to really set the momentum. Challenge ALS can get themselves another basket here. That's going to do wonders for the confidence as they're looking to claw into this lead. Into Weathers. Weathers spinning in trouble. He's going to draw the foul. And how he managed to spin his way into that space, very impressive footwork.
Yeah, to keep that right pivot foot down is hard when you're spinning like that. All your momentum is carrying you. And did a good job planting that foot, getting to the line.
Weathers, his first trip, I should say, because that wouldn't be multiple to the free throw line. Only sitting on 2 points on 1 for 3 shooting. Does have 4 rebounds and an assist. First free throw is good. That brings the lead to 10. And here's that psychological booster. Getting under 10 with plenty of time remaining. All it takes, defensive play here. Baskets on the other end. Second free throw attempt is good. It is now a 9-point lead. And there we see Challenge ALS applying some full court pressure. Missing a trap down on that far corner. Trey Tennyson into the game. Tennyson being guarded by Johnson. I apologize, Kennedy, Keontae Kennedy. Foul gets drawn here with 4:16 remaining in the third quarter. And so Keontae Kennedy now at the free throw line. His only stat thus far is 1 rebound. Change that to now 1 rebound and 1 point. Agunane is going to come in, checking in for C.J. Walker, who's getting a well-deserved break.
Yeah, he played hard, didn't he?
You can practically, it looks like he just came out of a swimming pool, the sweat dripping off his body heading to the bench. 47-36 the score. Nicholas being guarded by White, screen set. Gives him some space to move. Ball is loose. Austin's Own. Jordan Hamilton picks it up, and he's going to draw the foul. The infraction should go against Jordan Nicholas. Just a rough trip down the court for Challenge ALS there.
That's kind of been the name of the game for them so far today. 14 turnovers. And they've fouled a lot here in this quarter in particular, and that's why you're trotting down, and now Jordan Hamilton shooting free throws.
Challenge ALS, though, has been a lot better protecting the basketball. They went into the half with 11 turnovers.
Yep.
Only 3 so far here in the third quarter as Hamilton hits his first of 2 from the free throw line. Extends that lead to 12. Looking for lucky number 13. 13 in terms of the lead, and he does connect. He's been lighting up the nets here in the roundhouse. Full court pressure. Well, token full court pressure. Johnson gets it across half court. Next dead ball will send us into immediate timeout. And there we say, 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We're gonna head to immediate timeout. Austin's Own up on Challenge ALS by 13 points. Folks, this game is hardly in the bag yet. Stick around, we got plenty more action to come.
Season tickets for soccer, volleyball, men's basketball, and women's basketball on sale now with the lowest season ticket prices in more than 50 years. Catch all the action this fall and winter right here in Coke Arena. Visit the ticket office tonight to secure your season tickets or visit GoShoppers.com/tickets. And soccer fans, your men's and women's basketball teams are signing autographs now on the concourse outside section 125. Stop by and get to know this year's teams right outside section 125.
We talk about how fast-paced the games have been up and down the courts, but shout out to Wichita State's SID. I think he has more steps in this game than any of the players do on either side.
Working hard, getting the important things taken care of, like me and you, and figuring out field goal percentage, rebounds, turnovers, all those sorts of things. Shouts out to everybody. Wichita, everybody here, they do an amazing job as a host of TBT. It's why they keep coming back here.
Class organization, incredible campus, everybody very friendly, to the point where somebody at the hotel actually offered me to borrow their car so I could run to the grocery store. You want to talk about service with a smile? That's it. Of course, I didn't take them up on the offer, but everybody in Wichita is great. The largest city in Kansas, and boy, do I miss that Midwestern hospitality living out in Los Angeles. 13-point lead for the Burnt Orange. Austin's Own, as Kennedy gets it across half court. He's got all the space in the world as Agunani trying to set the screen on him. A little give and go. Chianti tried to go for the highlight reel, sticks with it, and he dives for the loose ball. That's going to be a jump ball situation. Possession arrow favors Austin's Own.
Playing hard. There's 4 dudes diving on that loose ball immediately. Got a lot of sweat to wipe up now on the court.
And I mean, even from our angle and our point, I mean, you could feel the ground thud. Might want to check for a little dent on the hardwood at the end of this game.
A lot of human beings diving in one area.
Could be a dead spot there.
Yeah.
Something that the Boston Celtics back in the Boston Garden certainly took a great deal of advantage of. Inbound to Agunanu, back over to Kennedy. Kennedy's going to pull up for 3. Off the mark as the shot clock was almost going to expire. Rebound, but that comes out of bounds.
Boy, another rebound that looked like it was going to be a layup, and ALS gets a hand on it.
The officials allowing both teams to play. Haven't heard too many whistles, and certainly no calls that one would scratch their head and question. The officials doing a tremendous job. Seen some great officiating here in Wichita. Nicholas somehow sticks with it, getting past Kennedy. He held that in his pocket, put it in his pocket, somehow managed to get past Kennedy, pulled it back out of his pocket, and converted the layup. Ball is loose, challenge ALS. They have the numbers. The alley-oop, off the mark.
Got numbers now.
And White's gonna go down as Nicholas was battling with him aggressively.
More free throws now for Austin's Own.
take a look at this foul situation. Do we have any players that are grossly in foul trouble? It doesn't seem that way. Actually, if we look at it, DJ Horn with
DJ Horn. But you keep in mind, he gets 6. But certainly something to keep an eye on.
White's first free throw attempt is good. Trezarian White doing it all. Perfect from the free throw line thus far. Couple of rebounds, 3 assists. Working on point number 6, which he successfully achieves there. On a great trip down to the free throw line. 51-38. Well, that aggressive defense by Austin's own. Nicholas with space to operate. Bucket, and it counts.
Austin's own kind of pinning their ears back with DJ Horn on the bench, thinking they can kind of come after challenge ALS and make them handle the ball. Get the ball out of a trap, you're going to get an advantage, and now a chance for a three-point play.
Just a sweet, sweet bucket by Nicholas. Just a rotation as that ball left his, appeared to be, I think it was his right hand as he was driving baseline. Looking to convert the three-point play, and he does. 10-point lead.
Just hanging around this challenge ALS.
It's all they need to go as we head into the fourth quarter. You're going to explain the Elam ending rules once again for the viewers at home that are just tuning in. Kent gets Weathers up, sticks with it, but his foot's going to hit baseline. That's going to go out of bounds. The big man stepping back onto the hardwood, DJ Burns.
Well, if he's in, you might as well try and get him a post touch. That was a long stretch with him on the bench.
He's really had C.J. Walker to contend against, but Franklin Agunani, not a small player by any stretch of the imagination. Looks like he could play in the NFL, let alone playing basketball. Burns, though, with the sky hook.
Ooh, they're going to count it. Some NBA continuation there.
What a drive. As I was praising the size of Agunani, DJ Burns driving into the paint like a guard.
Well, I've said that I don't like 275 fading away from the basket, but a part of what makes him special is that he has touch. And he certainly, you'd rather have him use his power, but he's capable of hitting shots just like that.
Weathers almost came up with the rebound. That ball was loose, kept in play. With a defense by challenge ALS. Burns evading Trezarian White. He's going to take it himself. Agunani with the defensive play.
That's a refrigerator coming at you into your chest.
2 refrigerators going at one another. And when 2 refrigerators collide, you'll see some sparks, that's for sure. Agunani's going to head back to the bench.
Seems like there's been a concerted effort by Coach Cavongo to rotate guys in and out in this third quarter. Keep fresh bodies on the floor.
One of the strategies, Johnson pulls up, he misses. Poked away by Nicholas. Thought it was poked away by Nicholas. Minute 36 here in the third quarter. Only an 8-point lead for Austin's own. Hot and humid here in Wichita. An errant pass picked up. Johnson by himself, wide open. Offensive rebound by Weathers. Just an errant turnover by Austin's own leads to another basket from challenge ALS.
Just a lazy play from Austin's own.
Cutting into that lead, it's only 6. Brown against Weathers. Gonna pass it out to White, back over to Brown. Walker, the pass into Kent. Kent, wide open.
That's an incredible pass, Philly. Left hand scoop to the strong side. I mean, wow.
Defensive gamble by challenge ALS, and Austin's own Nathan Pay. Foul's gonna go against White. That door is left ever so slightly opened, and then Austin's own just somehow finds a way to just push it a little further. Or try to close it, I should say, a little more. That would be a fail on my part in terms of physics.
Whatever it is, It's been an interesting, there's been moments in this third quarter where it's looked like ALS is in big trouble. They just cut it to 6. You get it pushed back out to 8. Elam ending just around the corner. Every point matters. Every possession now getting more and more important.
Johnson 1 for 2, 53-46. About an 11-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Screen set. Brown. No foul. As that one goes out of bounds. Now we're going to have a 5.7-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Burns is going to check back in.
Imagine what's coming. Burns coming in. See if he can get him a touch.
Johnson dribbles it past White, over to DJ. DJ kicks it out. Weathers, the bounce pass in. The defensive stop by Kent.
Amazing play from Jason Kent.
Step athleticism. Poked away. Numbers for Challenge ALS. Weathers dumps it off to his brother. Thunders it home. Weathers to Weathers. 2 seconds. Hamilton as the shot clock expires. No good. And we head into our fourth quarter. The burnt orange of Austin's Own up 53-48 on Challenge ALS. We got one more quarter to go. Can't say 9 minutes because we got an Elam ending, but stick around, folks. Temperature here is certainly heating up.
Fans, as a reminder, TBT will use the Elam ending at the conclusion of tonight's game. At the first dead ball with 4 minutes to go, the game clock will shut off, and the target score will be set by adding 8 points to the leading team's score.
Getting ready to start the fourth quarter here. Christian Phillim and Nick Baugh with you on the call. Not your traditional fourth quarter, partner. Why don't we talk about the Elam ending and what that means?
Yeah. First stoppage under 4 minutes. The game clock shuts off. There's 8 points that are added to the leading team score, and that becomes the target number. And the first team to hit that number wins the game. And so just 5 minutes away from that Elam ending, and credit ALS for once again climbing out of a hole. And Austin's Own was up 15 with under 6 minutes to go in that third quarter. And just like that, it's a 5-point game.
Weathers, he's going to draw a foul. Strong start to begin this fourth quarter. You said it, dug themselves out of the hole. They keep chipping, and as we get to the Elam ending, it really will be anybody's ball game at that point. Every single game will end with a game-winning basket. We saw Willie Warren do it for Fire Family earlier on. Who's going to be the hero in this case? Still plenty of time to go between now and that 4-minute mark, however.
Not once, but twice has it looked like Austin's Own was about to completely take this game and run away with it. And ALS has just hung around and hung around and hung around. Chance now to make this a one-possession game. Again, this was a 15-point lead with 5:55 left in the third quarter. So quite the surge here from Challenge ALS.
Weathers 1 for 2, now sitting on 9 points. Coven Brown, quarterback in the attack. He has space. High screen set up by Onyema. That looks to be a consistent play as that high screen gets set, but no pick and roll action happens there. Jacoben Brown looking at his teammates, telling them to settle down. This 4-point lead. Wide open is Kent. Draws the defender up in the air. Drives to the basket, but misses the layup. Recovered by Burns. On the run. Pass into Weathers. Weathers draws another foul, and he's going to head back to the free throw line. Fouls, fouls, and fouls.
Yeah.
And that's another important thing to mention. If we are within the Elam ending and we're in the bonus, a bonus basically 5 fouls. Why don't we talk about that rule real quick?
Yeah, when you get to the Elam ending, when you foul, it's one shot and the ball. So you don't want to just play that foul game that you see a lot of times how normal games end. That's one of the things that the Elam ending eliminates is the fouling strategy is certainly very punishing for the team doing the fouling.
Elam ending, another way of saying it, target score, game winner, named after Ball State professor Nick Elam, used in the TBT for the first time back in 2017. It's become so popular that the NBA adopted it in the 2020 All-Star game. Jacoben Brown driving through on Johnson. Drawing the foul. Johnson waving his fingers, no, no, no. Only his second personal foul, but that's going to send Jacoben Brown to the free throw line. Brown, his first attempt on this trip is good. Quiet game when it comes to scoring baskets, but he's done a lot of the other things that don't necessarily pop up on the stat sheet, between diving for loose balls, playing aggressive, does lead the team in steals. Perfect from the free throw line on that trip.
Yeah, he has TBT experience, played with Autism Army, so he understands what it's like in this tournament, and most importantly, what it's like in the Elam ending.
From what we were told, it was a 3-year process trying to recruit him to Austin Zone. 3-point basket, and a huge 3-point basket by Michael Weathers.
What a play from DJ Burns. Done a good job of, when he's in the game, getting in touches, and he is a great passer out of the post.
Brown looking to draw another foul on Johnson. Kicks it out to Walker. It's a 1-point game. Kent's got his shot swatted, and you can hear a hand slap across a leather basketball with authority. Great defensive play. Walker's going to head to the bench. Checking back in is Keontae Kennedy.
All momentum has shifted to challenge ALS's side. Austin's own was the more energized team. They haven't been the last handful of minutes.
Onyema tried to drive in, but Burns stops him in his tracks. Even with all the noise here, you could just hear those swats, in particular the last two. Kent for the dunk. He gets his shot blocked emphatically by DJ Burns, and he's going to mean mug him as he makes one heck of a defensive stop, blocking what unquestionably would have been a highlight reel dunk for Jason Kent.
Big time from DJ Burns.
DJ absolutely burning Kent. 5 seconds on that shot clock, though. Kennedy drives in. Off the mark, doesn't connect. Nearly a shot clock violation. The outlet. No foul, as DJ Horn was looking for a whistle. Pass into Jordan Hamilton. Hamilton with DJ Burns all over him. He's gonna pull back. Allowing for a one-on-one opportunity. He goes behind the back, finds Kennedy. Harlem Globetrotter pass into the corner. The 3-point attempt, no good by Jacoben Brown. Challenge ALS looking for the lead as Weathers gets that one poked out of bounds.
Gotta take a deep breath both ways. Got some tired dudes on the floor.
I'm tired myself. I feel like I've had the workout. Nicholas, he's gonna pull up for 3. Off the back end of the iron. Recovered by Brown. Brown out to Kennedy. Kennedy for 3. Kennedy hits.
Boy, what a great play from Jacoben Brown. Buying time, and then a perfect time on target pass to Kennedy trailing where he can just step into that three.
Kennedy practically shooting that one from Kenny Bunkport. Quick answer in from Weathers.
Boy, both Weathers brothers are bouncy, aren't they?
Bouncy, aggressive, and very talented. Michael Weathers now with 14 points. Scratch that, make it 16. Stripped away. Horn making some noise with the defensive play and the basket. Challenge ALS is taking over this fourth quarter. The crowds are loving it here in Charles Koch Arena. It is tied with 6 minutes and 1 second remaining here. Well, not exactly true because we got an Elam ending, but what a game.
This game is completely flipped. Again, it was a 15-point lead for Austin's own at about the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. And Challenge ALS has responded in a major way to tie this game. Now you gotta have some poise if you're Austin's own. Now you're getting put on the ropes a little bit. A nice timeout. Jacobin Brown trying to talk to his group.
You just saw how quickly and excited he was to get back on the court. Team huddle wasn't even done, and he's stepping out ready for battle. I mean, you could see the momentum and the confidence and the anxiety seesawing from both sides.
Well, I just thought the bench was so engaged in that first half. There's not been as much energy from that bench. Some blank stares from Austin's own. It's where Hamilton or Jacobin Brown, they got to make a play offensively here.
You brought that up as we were heading to the halftime. The energy there defensively, certainly a factor in the first half. But we've been treated to a very entertaining game of basketball. Brown's gonna pull up for three. Brown sinks it.
That's why you spend 3 years recruiting him, for these kinds of moments. Jacobin Brown doing what he does, making a big play.
Just like UPS, he delivered on his three-pointer. DJ Burns with the soft hands and the roll. Brown pulls up again. Off the mark, recovered by Horn. Horn out to Johnson. Jazz looking to make the sweet music. Misses. The rebound by Jordan Hamilton. J-Ham over to Kent. Back to J-Ham. He pulls up for three. Recovered.
Good decision.
15 on the shot clock. J-Ham pulls up. Gets the shooter's touch. Off the rim, off the backboard. Nothing but net.
Big shots.
Harkens back to those old McDonald's commercials. The horse with Michael Jordan, Larry Bird. DJ Burns burning through the net. 2-point game. As we are under 4, the stoppage, that will take us to the Elam ending. And at this point, it truly is anybody's ball game. Screen set. Brown has Burns come on him. He's gonna pull up for three. He goes down. Offensive rebound by Kent. The outlet. Intended for Kennedy, taken away by Hamilton. Dumps it into Onyema. He's gonna go up against Burns, and he gets the lay-in. 4-point lead now. Approaching the under 4-minute mark. Johnson over to Horn. Horn's gonna pull up. Didn't look good leaving his hands. And with that being a dead ball, now we head into the most exciting part of tonight's matchup, the Elam ending. 66 plus 8. Well, you can do the math at home, but of course we're gonna do you the solid and put that number on the screen for you. 74 the target score. First to 74 wins the game.
And this is the Elam ending, folks. Every game ends on a main basket, so first stoppage under 4. Game clock is off right now. 8 points is added to the leading team score. So the first team to hit 74 points now is going to win this game. A nice little surge offensively. 2 threes from Austin's own, and then a basket from Onyema to build a little bit of a cushion here heading into the Elam ending.
I was always under the impression that the greatest gift that Ball State University gave to the game of basketball was Bonzi Wells. But no, Professor Nick Elam from Ball State gives us this Elam ending, which that truly is Ball State's greatest contribution to basketball, at least at this point.
It is the best way to end a basketball game now, because Austin's own, they can't run the clock out. They have to stay aggressive, and Challenge ALS is right there. And Challenge ALS has found something with throwing the ball into Burns. He's really made some nice plays, whether it's been scoring or kicking out. Austin's own right now, from a strategy standpoint, they're talking about, what are we doing defensively when the ball goes into Burns? Are we playing one-on-one, or are we coming with a double team? The other thing about Austin's own, they've done a poor job, I think, in transition defense. When shots have gone up, they have allowed 3-on-2s and 3-on-1s the other way. And then for Challenge ALS, you got to be aware of Hamilton and Jacobin Brown's three-point shooting, and make sure you're not giving any easy baskets to those guys.
It's not mentioned Jason Kent attacking the baseline.
Yeah.
He's found some space, dribbling through, drawing fouls, kicking it out to open teammates. Yeah, first team to 74 wins this one. The winner of this game is going to take on the winner of our next game. Between aftershocks and no excuses, you could already see the sea of yellow starting to pack into this building. Looking forward to a very ruckus environment here, but the energy has been here for this ball game too. The fans that have come here early have been really treated to an exciting game of basketball. Here we go. Again, game clock is off. First to 74 wins. The part of the clock that is not turned off, however, is the shot clock. That remains at 30. Walker wide open for three. And off the mark there.
Yeah, just a 28% three-point shooter in college. That's not really his game.
It wasn't Paul Harrison's game either in the last game for Fire Family, and he managed to connect. Now this is going to be the intriguing, juicy matchup between Walker and Burns. Burns misses, recovered by Walker, kicks it out to Brown. Brown over to Kennedy. Kennedy, wow. There's your highlight reel. Alley-oop, baby, what a flush. Johnson, he connects on the three. What a quick answer.
Wow, it's the TBT, baby. Back and forth we go.
The pass in, draws the bucket and the foul. Keontae Kennedy taking over here in Elam ending time.
My goodness, 5 points for the whole game and a chance for 5 points to get the Elam ending portion started for Keontae Kennedy.
6'5" out of Austin, we already talked about the trips he's taken across the country playing collegiately. Playing in Portugal right now, misses on that free throw attempt.
Right, you got to go back into Burns. Walker cannot handle him one-on-one in the post, especially if they're not going to come with a double. They're playing free safety. You see Brown's kind of right underneath the basket. You're going to have an open three if you move.
Burns recovered. The putback is good by Nicholas. 70-67 into Hamilton. Red hot in the first half, gets it stripped. Weathers the run, back to Nicholas. Nicholson in transition. He converts it the fast break. 1 point game. Almost comes up with the turnover too. The official pointing back in the direction of the burnt orange. Oh boy, Jordan Nicholas really coming through here.
I think it's a good timeout from Coach Cabango of Austin's own.
My beats per minute on my iWatch says 102, but I think that's off the mark because I can feel my heart palpitating. I've had enough Dr. Pepper to make even Forrest Gump get nervous here.
You got an Austin Powers reference and Forrest Gump reference. I like it. I like where your head's at. And
Gladiator 2, let's not forget.
That's right, Gladiator as well. We're working in all the 90s movies. This is good.
Well, that's the cool part about having somebody within my own age range.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure you've had
your references.
I'm sure you've had opportunities and situations where we've made pop culture references and well above your colleagues' heads.
No doubt about it. And right now, I think Austin's own felt like they were a little bit on the ropes. even though they got the 1-point lead. I like this timeout. Take a deep breath. And Jacobin Brown, Jordan Hamilton, you got multiple options offensively with where you're wanting to go with the basketball. And the game has a way of simplifying in these sorts of moments. It's where do you want the ball? Who do you want the ball to go to? And then defensively, you got to be able to just get in a stance and defend.
Challenge ALS has 4 players in double figures. Jazz Johnson with 10, DJ Burns 15, Michael Weathers 16, Jordan Nicholas with 17. Really coming alive here. As far as Austin's own 3 players, Jordan Hamilton leading both sides with 22, Kent with 14, Jacobin Brown with 10. 70-69 the score. Huge trip down the hardwood for Austin's own. Screen set by Kent for Brown. Brown has Weathers on him. With space. Walker was looking to set the screen, and he does. Ball comes into Kent. Kent with space. Kent with the layup.
Really good patience to not panic with the clock winding down and force up a jumper. And Kent with great strength.
Johnson bounces it into Burns. Back over to Johnson. Kent. Johnson for 3. Johnson hits the 3. Goodness gracious, good golly, old Molly, holy Torito, and whatever reference you want to throw it. We're tied at 72. Green set. Next basket wins for either side. Ball comes into Kent. Kent with Weathers on. Taken away by Challenge ALS. Looking to make their run. Johnson back over to Weathers. He's going to go up top to Horn. Oh, Dios mío, what a ball game. Burns kicks it out. Johnson drives in. Back over to Weathers. Weathers back over to Nicholas. The 3, game winner. Rebounded by Walker. The kick in. The drive. No foul. There it is. Foul's going to go against DJ Horn as Keontae Kennedy draws the foul. I didn't want to say it. I thought that Kennedy did draw the foul.
I did too.
Not necessarily a late whistle, but Kennedy now at the free throw line for the chance to put this in. This will be the 3rd time you've heard this word, refrigerator.
That's right. I think it's the right call, though. I thought Kennedy got hit on the arm as he was going up.
Kennedy hits. Talk about a pressure situation. So much on the line right here. Timeout by Challenge ALS. Keontae Kennedy. Is he going to look to pop open a bottle of some Keontae when he heads back to the hotel? He would be given every reason to.
Try to ice him a little bit. Make him think about this game-winning free throw. And boy, DJ Horn had a look at it and just couldn't get it to go down, and then a little run out and a good job to pitch it ahead and Kennedy to attack. And so if you're ALS, you got to think about corralling this rebound. But it could all be a moot point if Keontae Kennedy just steps to the line and swishes it.
We'd hate to say the biggest free throw of any person's life, but I don't think it gets any bigger than this in this moment, this juncture. The opportunity to move forward, $1 million on the line. You can hear the crowd. Kennedy misses it. The rebound, Challenge ALS. Now you could say that that was an incredibly smart timeout. Icing Kennedy on that free throw line. Now Challenge ALS, the opportunity to close it out. The bounce pass into Burns. He's got Onyema on him. Trying to muscle his way in. Onyema pushing him back. Picks up the dribble. Jazz Johnson wide open. Game winner. No! The rebound. Hamilton. Recovered by Johnson. Back over to Weathers. Weathers gets his shot swatted. Kennedy looking to atone for the sin of missing that last free throw. Hamilton missed Onyema, who was wide open. DJ Burns comes out to defend him. 15 on the shot clock. He pulls in. Hamilton misses. Walker draws the foul, no foul. Picked up by Brown. He puts it in. No basket. He still has it. Hamilton pulls up. Recovered by Brown. Ball is loose. It's calamity here at Charles Koch Arena.
Total chaos. Total and complete chaos has broken out here in Wichita.
Chaos, calamity, insanity, bonkers, whatever term you want to throw out there, this game has had it all. Ties, lead changes, runs, bricks, buckets, offensive rebounds. What this game is not lacked in, though, is excitement.
It doesn't get much more exciting than this. Basing out of bounds situation underneath your own basket. Coach Gavongo able to draw something up. And you got a lot of options when you got shooters and screening situations. It puts pressure on the defense to talk and handle switching or fight through it. We'll see what Austin's own wants out of this timeout. My goodness, my friend.
I don't care who you are, if you don't find any excitement in a game like this, you don't have a pulse. We're in Shockers territory, and boy, is the electricity in this building emphatic.
He's got to have great communication. It's going to be challenging with how loud it is in here, but Challenge ALS needs to talk on how they're handling these. There's going to be a back pick most likely with Hamilton and Keontae Kennedy. Want to talk how you're handling these screens.
Jacobin Brown had on Yema, running through baseline. The pass in, ball is loose, picked up by Burns. Outlets to Johnson, over to Horn, DJ Horn, he's gonna draw a foul on CJ Walker. Jazz Johnson. Opportunity here. The opportunities have come in a plethoras here for both sides.
Great defense on that baseline of bounds, trying to get a bunch of screens and a slip to the basket, and ALS able to get a hand on it, and not only get a hand on it, then corral it and get a run out.
Right before we came out of that last timeout, they were playing the Rolling Stones' Start Me Up, which is kind of an interesting song to choose, considering our engines are all started up. Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty probably would have been a little more apropos, because both teams trying to run through that dream of finding their way through the TBT tournament, out of this Wichita Regional, and on path to get that $1 million bag at the end of the rainbow.
And so they called it a shooting foul, correct? So it'll be 2 free throws for Challenge ALS. As DJ Horn has a chance. From March Madness hero to TBT hero. Here we go.
At the line for Team Challenge ALS,
DJ Horn potentially looking to make some noise here. Quiet game offensively, only 5 points. But none of that matters right now. His first trip to the free throw line, misses his first one off the back end of the iron.
Think about rebounding now.
Free throw will tie the game at 73, and it does.
All right, try and get whoever DJ Burns is guarding in a ball screen situation, see if he can't get a switch and then attack.
Kennedy with Horn all over him. Goes to Walker, Walker to Brown. Jacobin Brown with Weathers all over him, trying to lock him down defensively. Jacobin Brown muscling his way in, gets his shot swatted, still has it. 5 seconds on the shot clock, recovered. This could be it. Jordan Nicholas, that's it. Flushes it home. It's over. Challenge ALS wins the ball game. How do you like that? Not only a game-winning basket, but a game-winning two-handed flush.
Incredible. You talk about drama. Challenge ALS on the ropes multiple times and answers. Unbelievable one-on-one defense and a run out for Nicholas. And Challenge ALS moves on.
This game really had everything. Ties, lead changes, runs, excellent three-point shooting, bad three-point shooting, putbacks, highlight reels, alley-oops. But the most important part of this was that dunk by Jordan Nicholas. He's going to finish the game as the leading scorer for Challenge ALS. 19 points on 8 for 13 shooting. What a game he had.
And just great defense. The Weathers brothers, DJ Horn, on the ball, standing up numerous times. In a big moment, it's your defense that springboards your offense for the Elam-ending, game-winning dunk.
Shout out to Austin's own that played an incredible game.
Yes.
Jordan Hamilton led the way with 22 points. Jason Kent with 16. Keontae Kennedy 10. Jacobin Brown with 10. But the story, defense wins games, and defense won this game as Nicholas thunders it home for the win. They will take on the winner of our next game, which has the home team, the host, the Aftershocks, with the number 2 seed, taking on the 7 seed. No excuses. Folks, we're going to step away from it for a bit, but we got one more for you, and you're not going to want to miss this one. Aftershocks taking on No Excuses when we come back live from the Roundhouse, Charles Koch Arena in beautiful Wichita, Kansas.